Well, my name is Louis Martine, and I'm from New Orleans with the New Orleans Voodoo Spiritual Temple, and I'm a drummer there, a priest, a spiritual doctor, and an elder. I've been there for about 12 years, 12 or 13 years.
What message would you most want to convey to those outside of the Neo-Pagan movement in our community about your beliefs?
Gratitude is primary. That when you have gratitude in your heart, your actions will flow in a certain way, that you'll be able to touch those around you, that you won't be so hung up in yourself. I think gratitude is the most important thing. And the way it comes out of the primary, for me, the way it comes out in New Orleans Voodoo is to the ancestors. That one of the really sacred teachings, and it's a secret. It's a secret and that is so hard to hear. It's not a secret and it's hard to say. It's a secret and it's hard to hear. Is that the earth itself is the ancestors. It's not some sort of symbolic thing. It's literally the ancestors. That my mother's body is in here. That my father's body is in here. That my grandfather's body is in here. And as the earth moves, it spreads all over the place. So I'm literally standing on my mother, standing on my father, standing on my grandfather. They're literally supporting me, and probably the most authentic response to that I can think of is gratitude.
What do you consider the ethical foundation of your beliefs, and what are the most important guidelines?
In terms of ethics, again, that flows from gratitude. That flows from gratitude. That if you're grateful, you're a lot less apt to cause harm. And even with insects, that there's a belief with a lot of people in that the ancestors return. The ancestors return as the children. The ancestors could return as an insect. So try not to even harm an insect. It's really do as less or as least harm as possible. Do as least harm as possible. That every time you get up, of course, you're going to kill something, you're going to hurt something. Do as less harm as possible. Yeah, to clarify things a bit, I was lucky enough to spend a year working with Tibetan refugees. So I've really brought together the New Orleans Voodoo and the Tibetans' beliefs. I said one of the things I wanted was to learn how to be a better man. And I said that my practice was voodoo, so the monks got to learn how to say voodoo and a little bit about voodoo, and I got the chance to eat breakfast with them, see what they're like in the morning. What do you talk about in the morning? What do they talk about? What's it like before the ceremonies? What's it like after? What's it like during? And I learned a tremendous amount from them. In fact, the priestess from the temple, right about that time, was invited to go to Russia to work with some shamans. And when she went there, she ended up hooking up with a Tibetan temple there, a Mongolian Tibetan temple, a Buddhist temple. So there's that strong current with the New Orleans Voodoo Spiritual Temple of Buddhism. And so it's a combination of the both, which sounds really exotic, but then again, Haitian Voodoo has syncretized with Roman Catholicism. And a lot of the peoples around Asia have taken Buddhism to themselves and kept their local gods. And really, the New Orleans Voodoo is our local gods. They're the swamp gods. The Tibetans have their mountain gods, which is so cool, but my gods are the swamp gods.
How do your beliefs have they affected your interaction with pets and animals?
This pretty much gets back to the syncretism of the Tibetan Buddhism and the Voodoo, New Orleans Voodoo. That before I went there with the Tibetans, I was doing a lot of animal sacrifice. And when I would talk to them, they go, well, it's not good. New Orleans Voodoo is an old and honorable system, but animal sacrifice isn't very good. Maybe yes, maybe no. And then a really special friend, Mr. Norbu, took the time to really say over and over and over to me that if you have a sense of reincarnation, and voodoo does that, that you come back, and that it has been going on forever, that every being that you come across at some point in time has been your mother. And I didn't hear it, and I didn't hear it, and I didn't hear it. Then it was just one time I just looked at him. I said, every being? I said, every being has been your mother. And I just, started to cry. It was like, I thought, oh my God, yeah. I thought, well, would I offer my mother even to save my own life? And at that point I stopped doing it.
How about how you see the environment, specifically recycling and energy efficiency?
In New Orleans, it's sort of a mute point. It's like there was this program to recycle New Orleans, and what happened was you saw these trucks going down, these old trucks going down the expressway, dumping plastic all over the place, and they go to Pontchartrain and throw it in Pontchartrain. God, particularly organic material. If I have a plant, I have a hard time. If I eat an apple and there's seeds left, it just seems wrong to throw them in the garbage. I'll take them out and put them on the earth. And it's sort of alike with the Tibetans don't believe this. This is a New Orleans voodoo thing that really everything has a spirit and everything has a soul. The Tibetans believe that sentient beings, and so I really respect the seeds, and I respect any part of any fruit or anything like that. There was this one child that would always come and lay down and fall asleep in front of the drummers, in front of the drum corps. She would just come in and lay down there and be so peaceful, just fall asleep. And that makes the drumming something that she's going to grow up with, that is going to be part of her life, that is going to be like something that gives her pleasure, that's going to be in no way odd. And I saw a corollary to that with the Tibetans. I was there, it was in the morning one time, and there was a little baby there, and that real low chanting that to our ears sounds exotic. One of the people there, Mr. Norville, in fact, was doing that to a little baby, and the baby's laughing. So when a baby hears that, it's not going to be some sort of exotic religious experience or something like that. It's going to be something that somebody that loved that baby did. And it's going to bring that feeling of love. It's the same way in New Orleans, with New Orleans Voodoo. A little child that fell asleep in front of the drums would come and fall asleep there. When she hears the drum, it's going to be this safe place, this warm, safe place.
What does it mean to you to be a teacher, and how do you introduce the spirit drumming concept?
I think it's such a privilege to be a teacher, and it's also such a responsibility that I've got to be able to respond, and I've got to be able to respond in such a way that brings presence to what I'm talking about. In other words, if I talk about gratitude, not just talk about gratitude, but actually feel it. And again, I think the best way to teach is through example. So it's like last night with the drum corps. I mean, one of the things I said is that the drum corps is the example for everyone here. The attention to the priesthood, the sense of presence, just being right here, looking at, seeing everything around you, and being there to help if there's a problem. So I think that being a teacher is mostly example, to set an example. It's not so much what you say is the head, the mouth, and the body all working together, being an example.